So what was it about Jean-Patrick Manchet's The Prone Gunman that drew you to it? What did you want to develop the film from?
I don't remember specifically. I remember reading the book when I was way younger. It's a French novel that I read when I was young. And I liked the slightly cynical world when it was taking place. And when we decided to make it a movie, the idea or the challenge was to make it a bit more contemporary, because the world now is not the world of 30 years ago, 40 years ago. So that was the challenge and the deal. It's like, okay, how does this world, it got even worse than what it was in some ways, can be the background for our story.
You're of course known for films such as like Taken and District 13. Is the action genre the genre you want to push with, or would you be interested in sort of developing out? And I mean, I know this is part love story as well, so would you ever go into the rom-coms?
Why not? I mean, never really thought about doing a rom-com. I always never also consider movies as I don't like to classify movies into genres. That's the thing. I mean, it is, yes, there is action, but it's not action movie per se. There's more than that in every movie I'm trying to do. I'm always driven by stories rather than action. If the story is okay and there's action in it, then
Bonus.
great.
Yeah.
If it's just action for action's sake, well, it's fun, it's entertaining, but it's not as attracting to me. So whatever the genre, whatever type of movie, if you want to put a label on it, I'm happy to tackle. And if there's action in it, it's fun, great. When I did this one, the idea was not just to make action movie. It was as we said for the previous question, there's a political background, there's a romance, there's stories of betrayal, there's like very complex relationships between many players, and that's what was interesting, I think, in this one.
Yeah, I think the characters were very sort of complex and built up, and I think it really worked. I mean, do you think the political element will come across, though, to, say, the people who do just want to go see an action film, because that's what they see? Do you think the message would still come across to them?
I hope it does. I mean, the purpose of the movie was not to make a political statement. That's not the point. It's just not a backdrop, but kind of a backdrop to what our plot is. It's not based on real events. It's based on a real situation with a real country, but not exactly those events. There was nothing like this that actually happened specifically. But it does open a window of what the wider world politics can be sometimes, and how a crime, or for the bad reasons, can happen every day. Not only because you're a bad guy, but because you're being ordered by a bigger power to do what to do.
Yeah. I liked how, I mean, a lot of people will look at this movie and say it's kind of like Taken with Sean Penn, but that's not really fair, because it's really, in some ways, it's a lot more character-driven. It's one of the more character-driven pieces you've directed. Would you say that?
It is. I agree. I personally would never compare it to Taken. I mean, the structure of the movie itself is different. The character is different, and the journey of the character is different. Taken was very straightforward. I mean, I'm going to save my kids, and we get in the way, face the consequences. Sean's character in this movie is much more complex, much more intricate, multi-layered, and he's not a good guy in the beginning. You don't really know. He's a gray guy. And his journey is to become a better man by facing the consequences of what he's done years before. And that's a very different journey and a very different structure, a dramatic structure. And also it's more of an ensemble. Yes, there's such crazy, we never use the word supporting cast. It's just like other big players in the movie. Javier and Mark Rylance and Ray Winstone and Idris is a small part, is a fantastic piece in there. So yes, it's more of an ensemble. So it's two totally different movies.
And you're known for movies like this and Taken, also District B13, which I loved.
Did you?
I got a huge kick out of that film. But was there anything specific that you wanted to do with this film that you haven't done in other films?
Basically, what we discussed about it's more of an ensemble. It's also, which the other two also were. Like I like setting my movies in worlds that are real, and that you can also have a sense of actual issues in the world. Well, there's no wall around Paris or around the District 13. There's no such thing, but there is kind of a ghettoization of certain populations in France. And Taken was obviously about human trafficking and trade, and this one is about the more global political responsibility of the developed countries to the developing countries.